Ladies and gentlemen, it is Friday. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. I can't believe it. The step bully was second, wasn't even first. Rusty, what's going on? Chels, how are you? Joni, how are you? Gonzo, what's going on? Rusty, Big Dog Jello. You getting ready for football season? Me exciting. Q Dot, how are you? It's looking ugly out there, but you know what? We're not worried at all. Not worried at all. Let's get through the disclaimer, and then we're going to get into it. I am not a financial advisor. Please remember that. I am definitely not your financial advisor. Please remember, this is for entertainment and educational purposes only. And with that being said, let's get into it. Markets, not looking that exciting today. The NASDAQ is down 381 points. The S&P is down almost a full percent, down 57. And you know what? There's a lot of red in the market. A lot of stuff falling, a lot of people being scared, a lot of people running for the hills. That's okay. That's their prerogative. SanDisk trying to rebound a little bit. 14.16. You got Nebius 177. ASTS trying to get back to 60. Micron 856. A lot of speculation about Micron. A lot of speculation about the chip trade. A lot of speculation about AI. Is it fake? Is Zitron going to be correct? Is there a use case? Is this just hype? Is it overblown? We're going to find out. Cisco 111. Oracle finding solid ground at a place I don't like. Apple 334. Fortinet 161.96. Rocket Lab, at least it stopped falling. Verizon is at 44.52. Not necessarily what a lot of people want to see. I also don't think a lot of people want to see Realty Income over 66. Energy Transfer trying to do something. Zeta flat. And now we get into the losers of the bunch. SoFi breaking down below 17. Strategy going down again. We got Nike at 44. ServiceNow 103. Amazon 248. You got Uber. We're going to talk about Uber. 72. Salesforce 170. Palantir 131. Marvell 185. NVIDIA hanging out above 200. Reddit's coming down a little bit, 181. Qualcomm 166. Netflix, we will get into it. It's under 70. Hood 100. SpaceX, oh my God, 124. I got a rant about this one. Google 347. IBM 211. Hyperscalers not looking good this morning. And yes, I'm just reading prices right now, DJ Foods. If you don't want to be here, you don't have to be here. It's the start of the show. We're looking at what the market is doing, man. Sorry that I can't entertain you like other people. If you don't like it, leave. I don't know what to tell you. TSM under 400. No bueno. AMD falling under 500. Meta big leg down. 630. Bitcoin almost under 63,000. Look, a lot of people getting cold feet per se. It's okay. Actually, where's CoreWeave? I didn't see CoreWeave on the list. Where are we on this? 72.91 is basically flat. Okay. All right. It's okay. Look, it is okay. A lot of money moving around. A lot of people have opinions, and everybody's entitled to an opinion. Okay. This whole Kimmy thing, One sec, everybody. My Pokemon dealer just texted me. Got to make sure I get the new set that came out today. All right. A lot of people worried about this Kimi model. A lot of people are wondering, is there really going to be huge demand for data centers, for tokens? What's happening with Anthropic? What's happening with OpenAI? Are these benchmarks real that are coming out? What does it mean for the trade? Here's the honest truth. Nobody knows. Anybody who tells you that they know what is going to happen is full of shit. Okay? I don't know just as much as the next person. What we do know are facts about where money is getting spent. Now, we're going to know a lot more next week when Alphabet and Meta report. We're going to know a lot more the following week when Amazon and Microsoft report. If these companies do not take their foot off the gas pedal with spending, this is just another DeepSeek moment. And at the end of the day, I find it very hard to believe that some open source model was able to train and make a better platform than Fable with basically no resources behind it. I find it very, very, very hard to believe that. Okay? Very hard. Now, isn't Meta next week? Am I getting my earnings wrong? If I'm getting my earnings wrong, I apologize. I thought Meta was reporting next week. Now I got to look. 7/29, I apologize. I'm getting my earnings mixed up. So next week is what? Alphabet and who? Next week is Alphabet the 22nd. Tesla's on the 22nd. Microsoft is the 29th, same day as Meta. Amazon's the 30th. Why did I think? See, I make mistakes. Apple's the 30th also. I thought Meta was next week. It's Alphabet and it's Tesla. I apologize. Thank you. I make mistakes. Now, Alphabet's a big one. Last quarter, they came out and they said their RPO doubled quarter over quarter. They also said they're going to spend $190 billion on CapEx this year and even more next year. They will be the first hyperscaler to either dispel or acknowledge whatever the hell is going on with this whole Kimi situation. I can't tell you. I don't have their information. The information that I have is the same thing that all of you have. I read through Taiwan Semi's report. They're increasing CapEx. They say that they have clear visibility into 2030 for demand. We have Micron increasing CapEx. They signed 16 5-year strategic agreements, and they just signed a 10-year agreement for wafer supply. Samsung and SK are spending, we're seeing all different numbers, 500 to 800 billion US in CapEx over the next 10 years. These companies do not spend money on CapEx like that unless the demand is going to have a very long runway. They're not doing this for 1 year of demand or 2 years of demand. Now, as far as the models go, who knows? Google is the best indicator that we're going to have because they own Gemini. We don't get reports from OpenAI and we don't get reports from Anthropic. So we need to put a lot of weight in what Alphabet actually says if they even address it. What we do know is up until this point, there is no indication these companies are going to stop spending, that these companies are going to stop building data centers, and that there is going to be less demand for TPUs, GPUs, and memory. How long does that trade go? I got no idea. I have no idea. Ultimately, I think the hyperscalers are the winners because everything will be housed on their infrastructure. I do believe that these hardware companies have several years of very strong earnings ahead of them. Will growth rates continue at the same rate? Probably not. Very hard to do that. But we either think AI is fake or it's not. I'm on the side that it is not fake. I am on the side that we are in the very early innings of a renaissance that will change our lives. And that's how I'm investing. And look, you're going to hear me make a lot of comments tonight on basis points. We shot last night. I make a lot of comments. It's going to rub people the wrong way. But you know what? I don't care. I speak my opinion. I speak my mind. And if you can't handle what I'm saying, that's fine. The reality of the situation is stocks go through cycles. Sometimes valuations do not make sense, for better or worse. And people sell for all different types of reasons. If you're a short-term investor, you may be in stuff right now that you're getting pummeled on. But if you're an investor in the broad market, you're doing pretty well. The S&P is having a great year. I'm going to stop for a sec. I actually want to hear this. Dana White is on CNBC. I'm wondering if it's going to be about TKO or Fanatics. So we're going to bring it up. Give me one sec. Because I'm actually very interested in getting into both companies. Or it could be about Meta. He is a board member. Let's see what Mr. White has to say.
The company expanding globally and domestically, including the UFC's recent event at the White House. Joining us here at Post 9 is UFC President and CEO Dana White. Welcome. It's good to have you.
Good morning.
I mean, we were just talking about how crazy that night was. You know, the weather, how it ended up perfectly, even though it was supposed to storm, the last fight. What has it meant for your business?
Yeah, I mean, it's been big. I mean, you were there live. People that were there live, it's tough to explain to other people. It was like a special one-of-one event, but on TV it was incredible too. So, you know, just the hype around it, and you know, you couldn't write a better script for what happened that night. The storm's about to hit us, it breaks, splits in half, and goes around us. The American who's in the main event on the White House lawn is a 6-1 underdog. He wins in spectacular fashion against a guy nobody thought he could beat. So it was an incredible night.
I know those chants of USA, you know, from the military that was there. It is hard to describe. But you said you won't do it again because it cost too much.
Yeah, it was a little expensive, but yeah, it was. Listen, to have the opportunity to do these one-of-one events that I believe take the brand to a whole nother level, and not just here in the United States, but globally. I mean, everybody was talking. I mean, the president flew to the G7 summit the next day, and all the world leaders were talking about the fight.
They were asking about the fight.
Yeah. There's video of them all before they even started talking about what they were supposed to be talking about. They were talking about the fight.
Because I do feel like that is the question with UFC. You've had this incredible run and signed this multi-billion-dollar contract with Paramount, which is a few months in, and it's like where does the growth come from here? Is this as good as it gets?
No, people have been saying that about us since like 2000. First of all, when we sold, you know, they said that Ari overpaid for this thing at $4.025 billion, and obviously look at the numbers today and what we continue to do. Fighting works everywhere, all over the world. People love it, and it's all star-driven. You know, when Conor McGregor burst onto the scene, when Ronda Rousey first started her rise, Anderson Silva, George St. Pierre up in Canada. We will continue to seek out the young up-and-coming talent and continue to build stars and put on the biggest fights in the world. That's what we do.
But is the next high-profile one on an international stage?
Well, I mean, every time we talk about, you know, I went in and did the Sphere. I thought when I did the Sphere, sports would be running toward the Sphere. It hasn't happened, but that was the biggest gate we had ever done. And then we just broke that gate record last weekend with Conor McGregor. The business and the sport continue to go like this. And yeah, we haven't even scratched the surface of how big the UFC is.
I mean, the Conor numbers were huge. 16 million viewers, according to Paramount Plus, record-breaking 8 million peak concurrent streams. How much of the sport is dependent on someone like a Conor McGregor who now got injured again?
Well, every sport is star-driven. I mean, when you think about the NBA with Michael Jordan, I mean, I always talk about this, the baseball. I'm not a huge baseball fan, but I'll watch here and there. And, you know, Ohtani, whenever this guy's playing, I'm always interested and I always want to hear it. But every sport is star-driven. My job is to go out and find and build new stars.
Can you talk about Power Slap and what it's doing? I mean, some of your metrics, I understand, are beating records. Yes?
Yeah. The numbers that we pull on, we have the highest sports clip ever on YouTube and on TikTok. Yeah, the numbers on this thing are fascinating.
Why do you think it's resonating so well?
Well, I mean, when I first saw it, I was like, this is fascinating. And I'm so jaded when it comes to combat sports. The fact that I wanted to stick around and see how it ended, and I was interested in it, I said, I wonder what happened if I got in it. I think I could make this big. So
it's hard not to watch.
Yeah. Well, I think what's even more fascinating that people don't understand, it's not just like, oh.
Lena, can you do me a favor? I'm about to just do it again. I don't usually ban people. For some reason, I can't ban this guy. Can you ban DJ Foods, please? Thank you very much. Or Chels, either one of you. I'm not putting up with this again. Like, sports are not rigged. Like, come on. Enough.
Wow, this is shocking, but people are actually clicking in to follow. We have more followers than most of these sports. We'll actually beat Major League Baseball in followers by the end of this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're also getting into boxing. I see you've trashed boxing for a long time.
I did, and
so
now it's time to put my money where my mouth is. I keep telling everybody about on the boxing side, judge what we do at the end of this year. What we've already done, the big stars that we've signed, the big fights that we're starting to put on, we're going to make a huge impact in boxing too. Basically, in every way two people could possibly fight, we are going to be a part of over the next several years.
So what was a problem with old school boxing that you're going to fix and do better?
Well, I think that, as a fan, the best never fought the best. You had guys throwing belts away and, to try to avoid good fights or fights. What my job is no matter what the fight is to put on fights that people want to see. That is my job. And nobody does that better than we do. And we did it with the UFC and we will do it with boxing.
Do you have to worry about protection of your stars, injuries, brain injuries? How do you think about it?
Again, in any sport, it's injuries, they happen. It's part of sports, it's part of life. But think about this in the UFC. We're so big on health and safety. There has never been a death or serious injury in 30 years of the UFC. Cheerleading can't say that.
Why? What do you do to protect them?
So we spend a lot of money on health and safety. If two healthy athletes are going in to compete, you have the proper medical attention during and after the fight, you can make the sport a lot safer.
Plus, I would imagine,
and we will do the same with boxing.
Yeah,
too.
I would imagine the training of your refs, right? Empowering your refs has got to be important.
They're not my refs. They're the like say we're in Nevada or New York.
Yes.
It's the athletic commission. The government regulates and oversees the judging and refereeing. But yes, helping educate these refs, giving the athletic commissions the information that they need to make these guys better at what they do.
With Conor and ready to fight? I mean, speaking of some of the concerns, because now that's a big topic of conversation because he wants those bets returned.
Yeah. He was ready to fight, and
like he was healthy enough.
Injuries happen.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, as you start to get older, the question is, and in combat sports, to be out for 5 years and to try to come back is very tough. Yeah.
Anybody who's dealt with knees knows exactly how that feels.
Yeah.
You're here at the exchange. We talk about markets all the time. We talk about the war. We talk about the Middle East. Are you sensing any degradation in capital flow out of the Middle East because of the tensions there?
We're going. We have I have fights in. We were just in Azerbaijan. We're doing fights in Saudi, doing fights in Abu Dhabi. We're rolling. I went through COVID. I don't know if you guys know that, but I went through COVID.
Yeah.
Nothing bad things go on every day in this world.
Yes.
We roll. We're going through it.
Yeah. Well, we talk about this generation of CEOs being seasoned by crisis. You've been through so much. It's like nothing surprises you now.
Nothing surprises me, especially in this business. I'm in a pretty crazy business.
Do you think?
So I really want to get into TKO. I think I'm going to. I'm going to address why I banned that guy. Several days he's come in trolling. Today, I should have banned him right off the jump. He actually called. You can go back and look in the comments. I'll actually bring it up for everyone. Every morning I start the show the same way. And you guys can pretty much talk about whatever you want, but I just had enough of him. And this is the second person I've ever banned. Okay? You guys can talk about sports conspiracies, whatever. I should have banned this guy from the beginning. I'm looking for the comment. I was going through the roll call, the watch list, showing what was going on in the market. He actually called the entire audience a Helen Keller audience. I should have banned him right from that. I'm going to pull up the comment to show everybody. And several days he's been trolling. And look, when you say, is this a Helen Keller audience? That's disrespectful to all of you. And I'm just not dealing with trolls anymore. So, period. End of story. Anyway, Netflix should buy TKO. This is only going to grow. And I think that Zuffa Boxing can take over the WBC, the IBF, and unify everything. Now, they did it with UFC. I mean, before UFC, Pride was the number one. And if you go back to the mid 2000s, you can make an argument Strikeforce was just as big as the UFC, and the UFC prevailed. I think he can do the same thing with boxing. There's a lot of interesting components to TKO Group, including the WWE. And if you look at Netflix's earnings from last night, I think they really have to go down that road, because you always can have breakout hit TV shows. You always, I'm just not going to tolerate when people say disrespectful things to the chat. I can take it, but you know what? It's just not okay. But whatever. On with it. If you think about what is always going to get watched, always is a hard thing, but sports are something that is generational. Families do together, friend groups do together. You can watch it at sports bars, regular bars. You don't have TV shows or movies showing at bars, to my knowledge. And when I think about the next frontier for Netflix, in addition to implementing AI into their operations, it's got to be going down the road of live sports. And I don't think paying for one-time events is the way that you should go. My opinion. I think that paying for the home run derby, not great. What, are people going to get a membership for a month? Matt, I asked if you wanted to come on. I called you on the phone. Don't be doing this, Matt. I asked you on the phone if you wanted to come on. You had some big important meetings because you work for a living. But you know what, Matt? I'll send you a link. If you want to pop on, you're more than welcome to, buddy. You can sing for everybody, make everybody feel better. The nice thing about TKO Group is there's a lot of assets in it. And instead of paying for singular sporting events, World Cup, which is great, but how durable are those memberships? WWE and UFC are year-round sporting events. Well, UFC is sporting. WWE is obviously scripted. But it's year-round entertainment. And then boxing is year-round. So I think there's going to be a lot of money in that. I think TKO is an undervalued asset, and Netflix could probably benefit from it. So we'll see. I think that they are going to do really good things. And Netflix needs it. Look, Netflix was not pretty. It was not pretty. Netflix is down 46% year to date. It's down 7.5% today. This was just not great. I mean, the reality of what happened was Q2 revenue grew 13% to $12.6 billion, 33% operating margin. Good numbers. Good numbers, but not good enough. They're not growing enough. Free cash flow isn't growing. And the Q2 forecast was in line with the previous forecast. And I don't think people are willing to pay this price for limited growth. And Netflix needs to mature into a different type of company. Now, the 2026 outlook is very consistent with the prior forecast. They're narrowing their revenue forecast to 51 to 51.4 billion, which is 13 to 14% growth on the year, driven by growth in memberships and pricing. Now, they are growing out the ad platform. They are supposedly only going to report membership numbers once a year, if I remember correctly. But in this day, when people are, or companies are growing by so much, 12 or 13% growth, I mean, that's pretty much, you're talking about Salesforce numbers at that point, just a little bit better than Salesforce. People don't really get excited about that when Palantir's out here growing 80% plus, when NVIDIA is growing 80% plus. And you got really high growth companies out here. And look, Palantir, they do real revenue, real profitability, not as much as Netflix, but you know what? Netflix is becoming a much more mature company. So in my opinion, they got a couple of things they can do. Start paying a dividend, grow into a dividend company, go on an acquisition spree of entertainment that is year-round with sports, or some people wouldn't pay for this. I would get your AI offerings to the point where, one, it increases margin, and two, you can offer a upscaled service tier where you can get your own AI programming. That's what I think they need to do. We'll see what happens. But I mean, Netflix going down, I don't know. I think it's getting very interesting. I think it is getting very interesting here. And then there was AMD. Everybody in the chat's favorite company, 501.38. Still above it. Still above it. Now, I do want to address something because there's been some things going around and talked about that I haven't addressed, but I feel that I need to address it because it's very applicable to what's going on today with the entire AI landscape. What the hell is going on here? Okay. Something was glitching out on my computer. I apologize. Look, we all know token maxing, tokens coming under fire. There's a lot of talk out there about Uber. What actually happened? Okay. So the narrative that's going around is that Uber cut its AI token budget. That's not what happened. Let's be very clear about this. Uber did, in fact, put a spending cap on each employee. And that part is confirmed on the record. But the company is spending more on AI, not less. Both things are true at the same time. They put guardrails in, and the token spigot stayed open. So Uber rolled out Claude Code to roughly 5,000 engineers in December. Okay. Adoption exploded. 32% of engineers went on agentic coding tools in February. 84% by March, and by spring, 95% of Uber engineering was utilizing AI tools on a monthly basis. 70% of committed code was coming from AI tools, and about 11% of back-end updates were written fully by autonomous agents with no human in the loop. Now, here's where it gets interesting. In April, Uber's CTO, Pravin Napeli, confirmed they had burned through their entire 2026 AI budget in just 4 months. His words were back to the drawing board. Now, here's the detail that most people skip over. That budget was the AI coding tools allocation, not Uber's total AI spend. And the actual dollar figure was actually never disclosed. And the unit of economics tells the story. The average engineer cost $150 to $250 a month, and power users ran $500 to $2,000 a month, and the CTO burned $1,200 in tokens in 1 2-hour demo. Those are the actual unit of economics. So Uber basically poured gas on its own fire. But late May, Chief Operating Officer Andrew McDonald said basically the quiet part out loud that token consumption wasn't clearly translating into more consumer features. And Uber would have to start weighing token costs against headcount. And that interview is where the pullback narrative really started, in my opinion. So on June 2nd, Bloomberg reported that an Uber spokesperson confirmed a cap of $1,500 a month per employee. The cap only applies to agentic coding software like Claude Code and Cursor, and spending on one tool doesn't count against the budget for another. If you do the math, $1,500 per tool sits way above the 150 to 250 average and covers most of the power usage range. So what's Uber actually doing? Spending is going up, not down. Uber spent $951 million on R&D in the first quarter 2026, up 17% year over year, on top of $3.4 billion for all of 2025. They're funding tokens partly at the expense of headcount. So they're expanding, not retreating. So anybody who is out there saying that Uber is scaling back or eliminating blah, 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 they're just wrong. And they didn't look into this properly. So I spent a good 45 minutes this morning going through everything because I've been seeing things on X. I've been hearing a lot of things. That's from what I see is the real story. Now, with that being said, that goes to show you that companies are spending a lot on AI. Now, if you look at what Chamath said that if you equate tokens as barrels, and each barrel has 1 million tokens, and the most prestigious barrel, call it, say, $50 for the barrel, but you have another barrel that's 95% is good for $1 or $2, people are going to swap out, most likely, or companies are going to swap out and utilize the almost as good tokens for most tasks, then utilize the more expensive ones for the hardest tasks. So here's the thing. Nobody knows what's going to happen. My speculation is that tokens will become commoditized, and you'll have different price points for different tokens based on how good the tool associated with it is. When I think about that, I don't think that hurts the narrative for OpenAI or for Anthropic. I think that where it comes out, and look, Alphabet may chop them out, and that would be great for Alphabet. Maybe it's not great for Anthropic or OpenAI. Who knows? But when you think about JP Morgan and what Jamie Dimon said, that they repositioned a tremendous amount of employees in one department, and utilized AI to overtake processes that were repeatable, you're in a situation where companies are probably going to utilize more tokens if it becomes more cost effective, spin up agents, and create automated workflows. So I think as the price goes down, the throughput on tokens will increase and these companies will be just fine. So we'll see. That's where I think we are going to go. And the best usage or the best use case of this is NVIDIA. NVIDIA's newest systems create tokens at 10x less. I mean, NVIDIA itself is lowering the price per token. So, can I ask my wife to interior design my office? Everything is out of place. Well, I have the camera on an angle because I actually have stuff on the other half of the couch. So, I'm not remodeling my office. I like my office the way it is. Let me ask, what would you like me to put in my office? What would you like? Steve paid a penny for that sofa. Definitely didn't. Definitely didn't. Oh boy. Anyway, something on the wall. I got my Rivera jersey and I got the portrait that William painted. Hollis, very funny. Very funny. Yeah, I do need to put something on the wall above my left shoulder. I am not sure what's going to go up there. We'll see if I come back with anything from Fanatics Fest. I'm going over the weekend. That wall, there will be something on it at some point. Absolutely, no question about it. I would like to get a gong, yes. So, as far as Uber, a lot of people are just wrong, okay? And that's all there is to it. They're just wrong. So, we'll see what happens. I'll probably do a post about it on X and set the record straight, but people are just wrong because they're just not researching it. Now, when I think about how I'm positioning, okay, and I don't think anybody should mimic me, follow me, or anything like that. But, oh, that's not a bad idea. I don't mind that. Put a TV there and have the market there. I don't hate that. I do not hate that at all. No, I'm not putting the studio. I hate that. I hate that. We shot at the other studio last night, and I actually really like it. I really like the other studio. That panel wall drives me nuts. It drives me absolutely nuts. All right, CoreWeave is starting to come back. We got some life in the market. Need to chat with Austin about Uber. What is Austin's thesis on Uber? And I'm only bringing it up, the Uber thing up, because of tokens. Because people who are saying they're cutting their token budget are just misinformed. Now let's see what Mr. Dan Ives has to say about the AI revolution, and then we'll get into what's going on, what I'm expecting for Alphabet next week, et cetera, et cetera.
position? What kind of seat are you speaking from?
Yeah, so again, partner and really be, on a research perspective, that's going to be my main role at Yorkville Ives. But it's a modern merchant bank. I mean, this is something, for me, 25 plus years on Wall Street, it's the evolution, it's the next step. It's something to really build something that I think is going to be special in this market, but really focused in terms of sectors, AI, tech, infrastructure, energy, because where I view the fourth industrial revolution, so excited to do this and found just the best partners to do it with.
These companies are borrowing a lot of money. They're spending a lot of money. The questions we're asking this morning, based on developments out of China, is whether they're borrowing too much and spending too much. What's your reaction to what we've heard from China?
I think this is just called a white knuckle moment, no different than a mini DeepSeek moment to some extent. The reality is, like, look, models, you're going to have 10x more models over the next 5-7 years, vertical, geographic. The reality is that it's Anthropic and OpenAI's world, and everyone else paying rent relative to the models. Gemini clearly narrowing the gap. China, you're going to continue to see, very good models come out of there. But it's my view, when you talk about broader spending, the trillions of dollars spent that you're going to see in AI, it's less about the models. It's about the data. It's about ultimately the build out. And I think that is something that will get validated QQ earnings.
But doesn't this show that China is not that behind the United States? They're neck and neck when it comes to AI development.
I think for the first time in 30 years, it's not even a question that U.S. is ahead of China when it comes to tech. Now, when it comes to models, in terms of the more of a commoditization, open source, and the way that they're going after it, are they ahead when it comes to robotics, when it comes to energy? Yeah. But there's one chip in the world fueling the AI revolution, godfather of AI, Jensen, NVIDIA. And I think what you see from hyperscalers, what you see from OpenAI and Anthropic, this is going to be an arms race. But I don't even think there's a question where the U.S. is relative to China. When these moments happen, you'll see jitters, white knuckles, stocks will sell up.
Why is China able to do it cheaper?
Because at the end of the day, the open source model, if you look, whether it's DeepSeek or any others, when you compare it to what Anthropic's doing, to what OpenAI is doing, that's tip of the sphere. In other words, OpenAI and Anthropic, they're going after the enterprise market. The models are just really the start of what the broader sort of end-to-end framework is going to be. When you think about where the vast majority of spending is going to be in AI, it's not necessarily in the models, it's in the data center build-outs, the CapEx, what ultimately is going to be physical AI. I just continue to view commoditization will continue to happen on the models. I don't get as sort of nervous when moments like this happen.
There's the spending phase. Can we talk about the end phase? And I know this is really difficult to do. Where do you think the money's ultimately going to be made? The application layer, the infrastructure layer? Where do you think the money will be made?
I think it's the application infrastructure layer that's going to really be the hearts and lungs. Because if you think about today, all the data centers getting built, those data centers it'll be like a factory for cars. You build out the factory, but now you actually need the lines. What's the operation? When you look at as more and more companies on the use cases, that's enterprise, that's software, that's use cases.
Are you confident the app layer won't become commoditized?
I would tell you the more and more companies that I talk to that are deploying AI and going down the AI path, I feel that that's become less and less of a risk. There'll be winners and losers. There'll be ones where ultimately they're on the wrong side of it, and maybe some of those stocks are reflecting some of the nervousness. But the view today is that, look, we're still in the third inning of the AI revolution. Now, we start off, we're in the second inning. This is not seventh, eighth inning because of where this is all going in terms of physical AI. Look what Apple's doing. That's just starting the consumer AI revolution, where they're essentially a toll booth in the AI highway.
What's going on with Alphabet and Gemini? Why are they behind?
I view that in terms of everything that they're doing, they'll be behind the point. But the reality is that their end-to-end framework, from cloud to Gemini to what's happening on search, they could catch up pretty quickly. And I just think they've narrowed the gap much more than anyone would have thought. And it goes back to a year ago, New York City cab drivers bearish on Alphabet. Look where they are today. And maybe
Where are they today?
I say New York City cab drivers still bearish. Maybe they're bearish on Microsoft, versus where,
I think you've got to come up with a new phrase, because in my experience with my New York City cab drivers, they're better on this market than most people I speak to on a daily basis.
And that's very healthy because of ultimately more and more retail.
They've been long and strong.
They have a big seat at the table. And I know New York City cab drivers, now they're driving Bentleys because of this market.
Right, they'll be saying, I remember years ago, they'd be like, I really like Tesla. And I'd be like, what, this multiple? That's crazy. And then Tesla just like to the moon, up and to the right.
And that's why a lot of them are driving Bentleys today.
Right. Yeah.
Or
True.
Cybertrucks.
Or Cybertruck.
Many of them don't know where they're going anymore, which is its own
That's a
problem.
problem. yes.
Did you notice that they hand you the phone now?
No,
to like
I had an
put the
experience
address into
recently
the
which is even
GPS.
worse. A taxi driver took my phone and said, do you mind if I keep it up here? And I just thought he needed it for 5 minutes. I was like, I need it back. I have calls coming in. He's like, I need it for the whole ride.
And then there's times like, why are you taking the Holland Tunnel? You should be taking the
Yes.
And then you have to actually start to. I know.
They don't know where they're going.
It's an issue.
I know. Dan, it's good to see you.
Great.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, I love Ives, and I agree with them. Look, we're always going to have competition from China. We know that that's always going to happen. I think he put it very well with Alphabet. I have a theory that they're holding back their best models because they're investors in Anthropic. We'll see what happens. I think they catch up very quickly. Alphabet's the one you got to worry about. My opinion, not this Kimmy stuff. Alphabet owns the data centers. Alphabet owns the devices, the hardware layer through Android. They own search. Like, they are vertically integrated and will be absolutely a huge threat. I don't think I can pull off jackets like that. I got to tell you. I don't know if I can pull that off. Dan can pull it off. I don't know if I can pull that off. Now, when he comes back to basis points, because I really hope he does, maybe I will go get a suit jacket like that. We will see. But I don't know. I don't know if I can pull that off. We'll see. Now, a leather jacket, I will tell you this. I am considering getting a leather jacket for NVIDIA earnings. And I am trying to set up a in-person meetup for earnings. I haven't really been able to talk Amit into it. I think we should do an NVIDIA watch party at a bar for NVIDIA earnings. So we'll see. We will see what happens. Now, there's a lot of speculation out there. Even with what I'm saying is speculation. Listen, Dougie, you can wear anything. You are the best dressed person everywhere we go. You, my friend, can wear anything. Now, I make a lot of speculations also. I base my speculations off of the facts at hand. And I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, nor does anybody else. The question that I think everybody needs to ask, the next basis point is coming out tonight, 6 o'clock. What I think everybody needs to ask is, will this new Kimmy model stop everybody from spending? What do you think that everybody's going to slow down? If anything, maybe this is the best thing to happen in AI. Maybe, just maybe, this will get everybody to say, you know what? We're not going quick enough. Maybe. We'll see. We're going to go back. Let's see what's going on in the market. Let's take it from the top. ASTS trying to make a comeback, ladies and gentlemen. Trying to make a comeback. And there is some stuff on Micron that we're going to get to. And I'm going to try to validate right now if Meta is in talks. So Meta is planning on appointing an Amazon computing exec. Interesting. And Meta is supposedly in talks to lease computing power to Anthropic in potential $10 billion deal over 2 years. New York Times just broke it. Absolutely incredible. This is why Meta was doing and saying everything. And there was a comment that I want to address. China's 100% correct in something, and it's a power situation. And I'm glad Dougie's here right now, because Dougie, keep me honest here. China has 60 nuclear reactors with 36 more under construction right now. That's roughly half of all the nuclear power plants being built on Earth. And when you add the 16, they're already approved. They're headed for 125 gigawatts in nuclear power. You talk about the biggest bottleneck in tech, biggest bottleneck in data centers, it's energy. And China's throwing caution to the wind, and they're saying, yeah, America, you go cry over all your environmental policies and your red tape and everything and keep bickering and fighting. We're going to build as much nuclear as we want. Don't be surprised. Do not be surprised if that is the thing that pushes China past us in this revolution. Because if we don't stand up energy quick enough, we will be at a standstill. A 100%. We don't even have robotics yet. When robotics comes out, I think you're going to see the full scale of how important AI is. Nebius making a little bit of a comeback. Oh, look at that. SanDisk, 1470. Oil's going up. We don't like it at all. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Now, keep in mind, Dougie is in the energy business, okay? Oh, good Lord. We are so cooked long term. They have won the energy wars. Tech, banking, research, defense, education, healthcare all require massive energy. Yep. We need energy. We need energy. And nuclear is what I want. China, unfortunately, I hate to say this, they are doing the right thing with standing up these nuclear power plants. It's absolutely crazy that the U.S. is fighting amongst ourselves. A breakthrough in fusion would be amazing, Hollis. A breakthrough in fusion would be amazing. Absolutely. So we got Micron starting to take a little run at it. 882. Rocket Lab, 192 it is up. Almost 70. Oracle moving a little. Zeta moving a little. Wealthmatica, I was actually just about to say, Mr. Wealthmatica, a.k.a. Nick, and I shot a little video yesterday, and it will be out at 2:30 p.m. today on my YouTube channel. 2:30 p.m., Nick and I discuss Zeta, the Palantir deal, OpenAI, moving to the intelligent AI infrastructure layer, and where we see Zeta going. So thank you for Nick coming on. If you're not following Wealthmatica on X or YouTube or Substack, go give him a follow. His DD is incredible. All right, we got CrowdStrike. And I'll tell you, I kind of don't care what the multiple on CrowdStrike is. Cybersecurity can only get bigger. Cybersecurity is not going to get smaller. We're going to need such fortified and hardened cybersecurity that these companies are going to do well for so long, especially as AI expands and gets better. The amount of sophisticated attacks that are going to happen, them and Fortinet. Remember, I was long on Fortinet when nobody else was. I was talking about Fortinet when it was down at 50, 60 bucks. Next decade is a long-term play. TKO Group, I'm telling you, TKO Group is going to be a play at some point. I got that feeling at it. I have that feeling. SoFi, back up over 17, starting to come back a little bit. ServiceNow starting to come back a little bit. AMD is under 500. That's okay. That's okay. Where's Broadcom at? 371. Reddit 183. Salesforce 170. NVIDIA 204. I am having Jose on by popular demand tonight. Him and I will be shooting a video, and I will be putting it out tomorrow morning, discussing everything chips. Taiwan Semi 401. QXO fell under 15. It's okay. Maybe I get to grab it from Tanner at some point. But here's the big one, SpaceX. Let's talk about it. It's called no shit. Now, I think SpaceX is going to be an incredible company long term. Incredible company. But stocks don't just go up. And at one point, SpaceX was a bigger company by market cap than Microsoft and Amazon. That's not okay. It is not okay. That was a good joke. I like that. Failure to launch in more ways than one. That was funny. I like that. I like that. Now, there is a price point I will buy SpaceX. Absolutely, there is a price point where I will buy SpaceX. The question is, what's that price point? In all seriousness, I am waiting until after earnings, and I want to see what the guidance is, what they discuss, who gives the earnings call, and I want to wait until some more shares release from the lockup. If SpaceX falls to like 80, I wouldn't mind buying a decent amount and starting a position there and just scale down if it keeps falling. Do I think it's going to get there? I don't think so, but we'll see. But SpaceX isn't a stock you buy because you think it's going to 500 tomorrow. It's a stock that you buy and you tuck away and you hold it for 5 or 10 years. Like if you go in with that mindset, I think SpaceX is a incredible opportunity. Will it work out? I got no idea. But it's hard to believe that it won't. We'll see. No, at 80, I won't talk myself out of it. At 80, I'll start buying SpaceX. Look, at today's valuation, there's just other companies I'm more interested in. I like CoreWeave and I like Oracle a lot more at this valuation because when I think about AI, that's where I want to be for the long term. You need to wait until Starship can orbit and for all the lockup shares to hit the open market. I'm already forced to buy. It is part of my indexes. You may have it in your index fund, sir. I don't have it in mine. I don't own the Qs. So I'm S&P all the way, baby. S&P all the way. Absolutely. You're correct. Data centers, we need networking to connect all together. AI, RAN, and optic and photonic. That's why. Oh, man. Is it going in? You're right. I don't consider that. Okay. Semantics. That's not QQQ. It's a subset. It's for income. I guess technically you're correct, the two of you, bullying me. I guess technically you're correct. Oh, good call. Touche. But I do think there's an opportunity in SpaceX for long-term investors. It's just for me, I want to get a better deal because I'd rather buy Oracle here. I mean, if I look at Oracle's chart, it is ugly. And I do not mind pain. I do not mind slitting my wrists like that. I don't mind buying at year-to-date lows. I don't mind buying at one-year lows. I mean, this is an ugly chart, and I think that we're just getting another opportunity at this point. Why look at the chart? Look at their debt. Let's look at their debt. I'm with you. Their debt is huge. It sucks. It's horrible. Question is, can they pay their debt? Yes or no? That's the question. Okay? The answer is yes. So let's get into it. Oracle. Why is Steve bullish? Well, if we look at the balance sheet, you're 100% right. Okay? Let's look at the debt scaling. I want net debt. And I want my long-term debt. I mean, not good. They just finished with 122 billion in long-term debt and 125 billion in net debt. That not good compared to the cash position. So let's do long-term versus cash and short-term investments. I mean, not a good level. There's roughly 4x debt to cash. I don't like that. I'm with you. Does it cost a lot of money? Absolutely. Are they going to keep adding debt? Most likely. I'm with you 100%. Interest expenses, okay, and EBITDA. These are the two things. Interest expenses were $4.6 billion in 2026. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. I'm with you. They spend a lot of money on it. But their EBITDA is going the correct way. And if we make these little things I built smaller, their EBITDA is really scaling for the first time in a meaningful way in a decade. And I'm not going to count off of the 22 level, okay? Because we got back in 2023. But since 2023, we got 3 years of year-over-year growth, and the year-over-year growth in 26 to 25 has been exceptional. Now, the question becomes, are they going to be able to monetize the data centers that they're building? CapEx is going in a very bad direction. But when we look at the CapEx versus operational cash flow, there's a very important metric to look at. Okay? And I should do it on a quarterly on a TTM basis or quarterly basis. But this is the first time on an annualized basis that they have grown their cash from operations by $12 billion or 11.2. I'm sorry, 11.2. Yes, they're deploying a ton of CapEx. They're going to deploy even more this year. But you've never had a year where they've done this. And it's likely to keep going up and to the right. They will be able to fund the debt cycle. And in 3 years from now, they should be able to pay off a significant amount of their debt. And if rates come down, refi, lower the annualized interest expenses. Like, I care about the cash from operations expanding, and I am willing to be in Oracle for a couple of years and have it do nothing and have to average down because of my thesis on AI. That's all there is to it. I mean, you either believe that the AI revolution is going to work or you don't. And if you believe it's going to work, Oracle is at a very interesting spot. Now, I'm going to cut over to Seeking Alpha. Some people don't like using analyst estimates. I like using them because if I just build you my own personal model, which I have, but I'm not going to show it, everybody is going to say I'm cherry picking data. And that's why I use the consensus estimates. The consensus estimates for Oracle is that they will scale their revenue by 32.5% this year, 46% next year, and 40% the following year. And that they will get to 89 billion this year, 130, then 181 billion. And it's not 2 analysts. You got 20 analysts that are saying Oracle is going to do this in the next 3 years. So, I mean, you look at how that scales to EPS. If they're true, okay? If they are true, are you telling me that we're not willing to pay 7.9 times forward earnings? I mean, to me, that's a steal, especially if I'm paying 15.44 this year's earnings. That's a steal. Now, is it going to go down? Is it going to go under 100? Probably. Why would, if the market keeps going down on the AI side, because the S&P is actually up quite a bit this year, but if the AI trade keeps going down, yeah, Oracle could go under 100. But personally, do I care? No, because I'll buy more. Why do I use estimates that are always wrong? They're usually pretty solid, and these companies usually beat to the upside. I mean, I don't know how wrong you can. So let's highlight this. Hold on. Why do you use estimates that are always wrong? Okay. Does this look wrong? So this is actual versus consensus, okay? May 15, actual 277, consensus 287. Pretty close. 2016, miss a 1 cent, pretty close. 2017, Oracle beat the consensus by 10 cents. Oracle beat the consensus by 3 cents in 18, by 7 cents in 19, by 3 cents, by 19 cents, 15 cents, 8 cents. Missed by 3 cents in 24, beat by 3 cents in 25, and in 26, beat by 18 cents. So you tell me how the consensus estimates are always wrong. They're pretty spot on when it comes to this. I don't know. Doesn't look wrong to me. I don't know. PB, thank you so much. Bought the SoFi dip today, 1650, now 1720. Let's go. Look, SoFi is going to be a victim of rates. I like the company long term. Unfortunately, I think it should be higher than it is. The street's just not going to validate it right now, unfortunately. When we get Dan on again, I will consider getting a crazy suit like that. Zach, thank you so much. Too kind. I started watching you, but a lot of meta because of you. I think you meant bought a lot of meta because of you and up a lot of money, so thank you. I appreciate it. Listen, you took the risk. You deserve the reward. I think meta is inexpensive. I think meta is going to do a lot of good things. And I think that meta is in a situation where I wouldn't be surprised if this is 8 or 850 by the end of the year. I can't pick between the two because I've bought both of them this week again. I've actually added to both of them. So for me, it's both. For me, it's both. Now, I think CoreWeave is a great company also. I just think that they're having a bad go at it right now with the tech trade and AI coming under this, oh my God, DeepSeek 2.0. Oh my God, models, blah, 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 blah. I think it's a bunch of BS. The market doesn't trust CoreWeave or Oracle. That's why I'm buying it. because I think I'm getting it at a discount. Here's the biggest part. Let's say OpenAI goes to zero tomorrow and they do not say, no. I'm not saying you say blah, blah, blah. I'm saying blah, 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 because it's funny. Like, it's like saying googly moogly. It's funny. I like it. What was I saying? Now you guys got me like, the market doesn't trust CoreWeave or Oracle. That's why I'm buying it, because it's down. Because I think the market's wrong. And I'm willing to wait and be wrong until the market corrects itself. I mean, I don't know. Hotel Transylvania quote. All right, I want to cut over real quick. I want to hear what they say about Micron so I can commentate on it. I like getting a lot of other people's opinions on things. Ooh, before I do this, great question. When will you kill these AI bears once and for all? Well, let's just say there may be some spicy tweets coming out tonight. I'm going to put one out during the day about Uber, but let's just say there's going to be a real spicy one coming out tonight. You guys are going to have to wait and see. It'll probably come out like 7 or 8 o'clock. Let's see. Yeah, let's cut over to what they're going to talk about with Micron. I want to see what they say. I like getting other people's opinions. We'll see what happens.
And that would mean, not that things are going to get terrible, but if we think forward for the next year, like, do you really think corporate taxes are going to get lower than they are now? No. Is the regulatory environment going to get better and easier? Probably not, especially if we get a divided Congress. Are earnings going to get significantly better? And to Kevin's point, Kevin said, we know the numbers are going to be good. We know those numbers are going to be good. Analysts adjusted the S&P up to 24% year over year a couple weeks ago as Q1 earnings finished up. So we know these are good. And now we have these big cash cows converting into cash guzzlers. So what if we're at this moment where it's kind of as good as it gets for now? Then what does that mean for the future? What that means for the future is long-dated cash flows are less valuable today, and short-dated cash flows are more valuable today. So you've got short-dated cash flows being more valuable. I think that halo, heavy asset, low obsolescence, still holds. And I also think you need to pay attention to where there's a target on the back of a company. So what's in the government or what's in society's crosshairs? And I think you want to get away from that. And if you look again at those stocks that I mentioned that are in the DVY ETF, which are the kinds of things I invest in, they're kind of like in the epicenter of the things that you'd want. They have heavy assets, they've got low targets, they've got high cash flow. So I feel like there's a topping in the semi because of what I see going on outside of it.
I'm not willing to say that earnings are going to be good. In the absolute, they'll show good growth. They'll be good for any company. But will they be good enough for the market? That's the question.
That's the key.
And as we've seen with past quarters like Broadcom, great numbers, not just good numbers, great numbers. But guess what? They weren't good enough. In the aftermath of Micron reporting phenomenal numbers, just not good enough to sustain the company's stock moving up higher.
Forget about past quarters. Just in the last week, between TSMC and
Micron
ASML.
wasn't that long ago, yeah.
Right. So the expectations going into many of these prints, even though they're going to keep reporting double-digit earnings growth.
So is it the expectation going into the print of a whisper number, or is it holders saying this is going to be a great quarter? The stock's going to pop on the quarter. I'm going to exit. And they get the pop for a nanosecond, and then they exit anyway. So we really don't know what's driving it. So the important thing is, all the stuff you read, interesting, good data points, but you sort of have to ignore that. You have to pay attention to what your discipline is, the profits you're willing to take, the losses you're willing to tolerate, and where you think it's going, not try to bet where others think it's going.
Right. And
so I sold Micron. I believe there was more upside to it, but not at that point in time. Guess what? I made enough money. So why put that at risk, right? It was a great return in the stock. So just know when to pick up the chips and go home.
Okay, so to that point, if you are, this is a trading desk right now. There are some shorter-term tactical views that we take, and there are longer-term strategic ones. because you brought up Buzz Lightyear and To Infinity and Beyond. I mean, the Barclays team seems to feel like there's a Buzz Lightyear to Infinity and Beyond trade over the longer term. The comments are interesting. They talk a little bit about the tech volatility trade right now. They say, while tech volatility may persist in the near term, we believe that the reset in positioning should ultimately prove healthy, creating more attractive entry points for long-term investors targeting the structural AI theme. So maybe this is just a time where some of the weaker hands are getting out and creating a longer term opportunity for people who can wait 3, 5, 7, 10 years. Is that a good assessment or not?
I think it's a dangerous assessment to put a broad brush on that. And I think you can look at the tech index over the last quarter, and then bring it down to that level where tech was up, 31% for the quarter. You had Micron up 244% for the year, and you have Salesforce down 31% for the year. And I think even within that AI space, as we go forward 3 and 5 years out, it's going to be very much the same, where you need to buckle down and do your valuation homework. I don't think you can bank on just speculation and saying AI for everyone, AI forever, AI to infinity and beyond. If it has AI attached, I'm going to buy it. I think that trade is done, gone. And I think there's real granularity coming in. And I think there is an increasing demand to see, or there will be an increasing demand to see return on the investment that these companies are making. So I don't think you can paint that broad brush. I just want to beef on something else. But one of the things that I've been really frustrated about is looking at as some of these stocks have really started falling off, looking at the analyst recommendations. So you look at SpaceX right now, and you've got every single analyst with a buy. I think there's maybe one that says it's a performer or a hold, and the valuation targets are crazy, $1,200 and stuff. Or you can look at Netflix, and on CNBC Pro it says there's 52 analysts covering Netflix. Not one of them even has underperform on it. No sells, and the lowest price target says it's $80, and the average price target is $112. And so I think there's going to be this moment of reckoning where people need to realize you have to make money to actually be rewarded. And so I really think, I don't think you can just broad brush and say, it's all undervalued.
Okay, so one of you guys is not broad brushing it. Kevin is not broad brushing it at all, because Kevin, you actually added to a position in NVIDIA, a stock that at one point and maybe still.
Very interesting. All right, I do want to hear what they said about NVIDIA. I think she brings up a good point about analysts and recommendations and all that stuff. And it's not a perfect science. That's why I look at the track record of consensus versus what actually gets done. Oh, and I'm going to say something, and it's true for me also. Okay, and I try my best to not be biased. Okay, I disclose when I have a position in something I am talking about, and I fully say I am biased toward Meta. I think Zuck is one of the greatest entrepreneurs. I say when I think he's doing things that are wrong, but I love the company. I think that unfortunately, let me frame it like this. I don't like the fact that institutions can put out ratings on stuff that goes into this basket if they actually own it. I wish it was independent ratings, but that really could never work. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it's talking your book or it can get jaded. That's why I try to be as down the middle as I can with calling balls and strikes. But I'm looking at SpaceX right now, and I'm very interested in what you're going to say about NVIDIA. This is one of my largest positions. I'm looking at SpaceX. I mean, the average analyst on the street has 243. There's only one sell rating on this. I mean, I don't know a single person in my sphere that's actually bullish on this for the next 12 months. I know a lot of people that are bullish on it for the next 10 years. But for the next year, I mean, 243? I don't know. We'll see. We look at Micron, and I think Micron is just such a good company right now. I think it is such a good company, and I think it's being dragged for the wrong reasons. It's trying to get above 900 right now. And meet cash flow. I think that's cash flow is the strength they have. Yeah, absolutely, Zach. They have a tremendous amount of cash flow. Tremendous. And look, Qualcomm, I agree with you. I think the numbers are getting so exciting. It's under 170. This is getting awesome for an entry, in my opinion. Zuck and Nadella both came out and said that they will use Qualcomm chips in their data centers in 2029. Multi-generational. I don't have a short position on SpaceX, by the way. I actually own SpaceX because the shadow government bought it. Sachin, what's going on, buddy? For SpaceX, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs has issued a clear message to everyone to be bullish on reports. One even has $800 target. 18 major analysts are bullish. It's a fixed match. Yeah, I agree. I mean, 800 is a little crazy. 800 is a little crazy if you ask me. Now, I don't think Qualcomm's a $300 stock. I certainly don't think it's 170. I think right now you're paying such a low premium for the price to free cash flow that it makes a lot of sense. I think Qualcomm can come back down a little bit. So this is TipRanks. TipRanks is just great site. I like it a lot. You know, in full disclosure, okay? I am not paying for the account. They were nice enough to give me access to the site. I'm not getting paid to use this. They did give me access, and you know, they're very kind to do that. I happen to like it a lot, so I use it. It aggregates everything very well, but they're not paying me. You can get very similar information on Seeking Alpha or other sites. They just do a different way of aggregating it and visualizing it, which I happen to like for the stream. So, but you know, we go into next week. We got the googly moogly. Try saying that 3 times fast. The googly moogly. The average is 437.79. Trades at 347. I mean, that's 26% upside. And I think Alphabet's one of the best companies in the market. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. They're the ones that set the tone because they will let us know what they will be spending on CapEx, how much the RPO book is expanded. So I'm super bullish on what they say. Hopefully they prove me right. They may prove me wrong. Hopefully they prove me right. So let's see what they say about good old Jensen and NVIDIA.
Arguably is the poster child of the kind of AI revolution, industrial revolution that we're in right now. You added to it, and by the way, you're not the only one out there feeling that way because it trades at a forward multiple of 20 times earnings on a 12-month forward basis. Some would argue that it's almost a value stock at that point. Is there a reason why you can't be opportunistic about buying this trade if there are valuation, at least tailwinds for some of these stocks?
I mean, you using the word value investment in NVIDIA is like music to my ears. So I appreciate that, Don. I'll take the other side that Jenny just brought in with respect to Barclays, because I'm not sure that they're painting a broad brush. I think they're looking at this and saying, as things get a little bit more sane in certain trades, there are opportunities. And I'll pivot specifically to our NVIDIA position here. The stock was 230, 6 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. Here we're back down in the 200 range. And I do look at this as a company that's in a maturation process, maybe a la Apple over its history, because lots of people made a lot of money over this name. You know, you could put 5 cents into NVIDIA and then it's worth 5 million 2 years later. We're looking at it now as a true investment longer term. So they have an $80 billion share buyback. They're paying a dividend, which is close to a 0.5% yield. Not enough yet for your dividend strategy, but enough for ours from a dividend growth perspective. And then if you look at what they're doing under the surface, this is almost at $100 billion a quarter in revenue. So I think that Jenny's point about which stocks are going to be specifically winners and losers is spot on. I'll just take Barclays back a little bit and say I don't know that they were painting a broad brush, or at least I was thinking or talking in my book as I was reading it. So I think there are great opportunities here. And if you step in when there's problem, when things are under pressure, that's where you make money.
Steve, I want to go back to a point that you made about whether or not you made this money in a memory name like Micron. There might be more to be had, but you want to protect what you've got, and you take that, you raise the cash, and you deploy it somewhere else at some point. One other place I'm curious that you raised cash in has been an ancillary play on that AI revolution on the industrial side, and that's Caterpillar specifically. And I want to talk about the trade that you did because you've sold that Caterpillar stake. And by the way, just from a valuation standpoint, I just want to bring it up for relativity's sake.
Right.
Different industries, right? Micron and NVIDIA versus Caterpillar, but Caterpillar right now trades at around 35 times forward expectations versus NVIDIA's 21 times forward expectations. How much do investors really have to toggle around with just where to take profits from and where to deploy them to?
Look, that's insanity. And I said it while I owned the stock. I sold most of it, by the way. And, I guess maybe even close to a month ago, a number of weeks ago, and this is tag end. And to me, 35 times forward 12 is insanity for a highly cyclical, capital-intensive company. It's just lunacy. It should be in the mid-teen.
Whoa. We're gonna stop for a sec. I don't believe my eyes. I see this blue shirt come on. See a guy smiling backstage. Whoa. What is this? Ladies and gentlemen, you're in for a treat at 12:57 on a Friday afternoon. It is the one, it is the only Sleepy Baby.
Steven.
Matt, how are you?
Good, man. Just got done the interview, so it's a good time. Things went well, so we'll hopefully hear back.
I'm glad that they went well, Matt. I'm glad they went well.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, what are you closing in 2 minutes, or what is this? Should I start singing closing time?
No, we're going to
closing time.
Like 1:30 or so. We'll go.
Steve is a little hungry, and he's gonna make himself a sandwich.
I am a little hungry.
What's gonna be for lunch, Steve?
I haven't decided yet.
Steve, I will say, there's a green candle. There's a couple green candles. So Maddie, and luckily, Steve, I don't know if you know the architecture of my home, but luckily, unlike when I used to live downtown on a 25th floor, this is only 2 floors, so it would just hurt, if I jumped out of this. So
let's not get any ideas.
But if I lived on the 25th floor, like I used to, but the pool was on the 8th floor, it just probably made a really big splash, and then I would hurt myself. But anyway, the green candles are helping me resist.
Wait, what green candles?
I don't know. There's some green candles on Rocket Lab, aren't there?
Oh, I mean, listen. All I'm gonna say is, you took the risk with investing. You have a very low share price. You're up a lot of money. You're not up as much as you were, but you're still up a lot of money. You could have sold, you didn't, and you think it's going to be a long-term winner. There's nothing wrong with that.
I bought more yesterday at like
there
67 or 68, Steve.
Better you than me.
So, yeah, I mean, erase 3 months of gains. Worst things can happen. We were talking this morning. Steve got me out of bed, guys. Steve is my alarm clock. He called me at like 8, and I was being a sleepy baby, and he was like, "Are you still in bed?" And I was like,
"Wait, I called you at like 8:30."
All right, I was trying to get. I didn't want people to think I'm that lazy. I mean, 8 o'clock is better than 8:30. 8:30 for some reason.
Fine, 8 o'clock.
It was 8:02.
Fine, 8:02. Whatever.
It was actually 8:30, but but Matt, it wasn't 8:30. It was a little earlier than that. I'll check.
All right, now you're going to make me look.
Somebody get the logs. Chat. Somebody in chat get the logs. But
You're right. I called you at 8:09 your time. You're right. 8:09 your time. I thought it was 8:30.
I'm not that big of a sleepy baby, and my feet hit the ground at least before 8:10.
Well, listen.
After you called me out being sleepy
on.
baby, I was like, all right, I'll get my day started.
Hold on. You deal with overseas. You get calls very early in the morning, so I know you're up working.
I'm always on Teams. I'm always.
It's not like you're
messages.
not working at that time. That's why I called you, because I knew you were up.
I'd already, chatted back and forth a little bit. But man, Rocket Lab is, it's not running, but
it's over 70.
It's over 70, I've recaptured some money, Steve. But no, like you stated earlier this morning, like a lot of my other stocks are doing actually pretty well to help offset some of that massive decline. Granted, Rocket Lab is a pretty large position, as some of you may know. So yes, it's definitely down, but even Venture Global's holding up here, which I thought was pretty interesting.
The market's doing well. If you're in individual stocks, you may be getting crushed right now, but overall, the market's at a high. So
what the hell's going on with Broadcom though? I thought it'd be back at 400.
It was for a little bit. It's
a long-term guy. It's a smaller position for me anyway, but interesting, Steve. Interesting. Did you? Yeah, I saw somebody in the chat. I don't know if you talked about it. Sorry, I was away for an hour. Did you buy CoreWeave at $68, Steve?
I have not bought CoreWeave today. I bought it yesterday.
So, in that lens, could somebody call you a shook baby?
No, I actually was in the middle of
You've had it a couple times.
I bought it 2 or 3 times this week.
Yeah, you bought a couple times this week.
I actually don't. I bought some yesterday, so I don't know where I got. Today's what, the 17th? Yeah, I didn't buy it when it dipped today. I wasn't looking at the market at that point in time.
Steve, you should fly in for tonight. It'll be a good time.
Fly in for the night?
Yeah. Look, in the room behind me, you and Boss Lady can have a queen size bed.
I got Fanatics Fest this weekend.
I'll have you back before Fanatics Fest.
Why don't you fly out here for Fanatics Fest?
Because I already have. It's within 24 hours. They'll charge my credit card for missing
I'll pay for what you're missing. How about that?
It's a pretty nice speakeasy, Steve.
Okay.
Although I'm going against my better judgment. Yeah, actually, good point. Good point. You could sleep in the King with me, Steve. How about that?
You know what, Matt?
It's a way.
Fanatics Fest is calling my name.
What's up to 73? Don't get me fired. Oh, it's CoreWeave. I thought they were talking about Rocket Lab. I was like, no, Stevie.
CoreWeave's starting to make a run.
What was I going to say? Fanatics Fest does look dope.
So, in all seriousness, Fanatics is going to be an incredible company when it goes public. This is becoming a legit trade show. I mean, the first floor is all New York sports teams. You have everything here. And then outside, you got the tailgate zone with the food trucks. And then this level 3, I mean, they even have UPS so you can ship stuff home. The NFL is going to be there. Dick's Sporting Goods Kids Zone. The Knicks fan wagon. This is going to be insane. The WWE. It's going to be insane. The UFC. I cannot wait. Can't wait. So I'm excited. Super excited. Anyway,
yeah,
Matt.
man. Somebody did post it in the chat. Venture Global seeing some strength after it sold off a little bit after the Iran ceasefire. But yeah, they're talking about 58 euros per megawatt hour over there, which if you divide it by 3, which is kind of the rough conversion factor to dollars to million cubic feet, it's almost back to $20, Steve. $20 is strong. And so if you think about it, you're able to buy it here in the US for $3. Obviously, it takes some liquefaction fees and and everything like that, plus some transport costs and some burn off because obviously you have to get across the way. But that's a really good margin. So some of these companies, man, it's gonna be printing money. I don't know how much of Cheniere's streams are contracted versus spot, but they could be printing money.
Well, LNG is the future. There is no question about that. Some would say it's right now, but I think it's the future. And I think that Venture Global is just easier than Next at the moment. But I think all three of them, including Cheniere, will do well.
Cheniere, man, they're
Great
paying
company.
off debt quick, and they're buying back a lot of stock. So
Great company. Great company. So Matt, let me ask you, I'm going to ask you about a small company. Now, I do not own this. I am not planning on buying this. It has come to my attention I should look into this. And because of who said it, I'm taking it very seriously. And I'm going to look into it over the weekend. There's a space company. I mean, good thing you're saying that because I just said there's a space company. But it's more defense contractor. Have you ever heard of Voyager?
yes, but I don't know enough to be dangerous.
So I am going to look into it and report back. Somebody who I respect their DD a lot told me that I need to look into this and look into it over the next 5 years.
I have a bone to pick with you and Mr. Patel, but I'll address you first.
Oh,
what is it?
Oh boy! Whoa!
What is it with you and the Rocket Lab hate, Steven?
There's no hate. I just think it's overvalued.
You were always trying to. My name is Steve. I'm gonna buy SpaceX if it gets to like $80.
Yeah.
Why no price targets for Rocket Lab?
I have price target $20.
I did hear that. I didn't hear that yesterday on the stream though. But $20, Steve?
I mean, don't act like I didn't put a price target where I would buy it.
$20 would be. Let me put this into perspective for you.
Yeah,
$20 would be a $12 billion market cap.
Okay, you're right. So 17.
So you'd wait to $17.
I'm just saying. I don't think it should be anywhere close to a $40 billion company. Now, with that being said, I shouldn't make that. And I made this statement last night when I shot. So you'll hear it today. When I talk about Rocket Lab, I am not talking about the pro forma because I actually do not know what the pro forma numbers look like. And I need to research the Iridium deal and see what the actual pro forma numbers look like.
600 million EBITDA.
So when I talk about Rocket Lab and my valuation, in my mind, it is pre that deal. Okay. I do not think Rocket Lab has any business being a larger company than SoFi on a market cap basis. I just don't. Plain simple. You look at SoFi's revenue, you look at their revenue growth, you look at their EBITDA, you look at their profitability and the way that they're scaling. Yes, it's a boring bank and not a cool rocket company, but from a fundamental perspective, Rocket Lab is not doing anything that justifies the market cap, in my opinion. But that's why I didn't make money on it and you did. So it doesn't matter.
I like Jet's dad response. So $21?
So 20. Legend.
This chat is unrivaled, bro.
Legend.
I mean, it's gonna be interesting.
True. And that's 100% true. And that's why I said at the end of this statement, that's why you guys are up a lot of money and I'm not, which is fine.
It's gonna be fun.
I look at fundamentals, not momentum. I miss a lot of things because of that.
Would you buy Rocket Lab before Costco?
Hold on. Let's see. Hold on.
Blake started this. Okay?
Hold on. I'd have to look at the pro forma numbers and get back to you.
I think
I think
years.
Costco is very overvalued.
Yeah, exactly. It's a tough one, but
I'd have to look at the pro forma numbers.
But the pro forma, Steve, I think it's going to be a lot of fun when underlyingly, and I don't think you're wrong, by the way, right? Everybody's right, in their own realm, and it's about risk tolerance. And so this is why I love playing that game, right? By no means am I saying that Steve is an idiot. I agree 100%.
Oh, but I am an idiot, so it doesn't matter. I'm really not that smart. I mean, Chelsea texted me yesterday and say, hey, you put the stream on for 11:30 p.m., not a.m. So
you're juggling a lot.
Smart.
It'd be one thing, Steve, if you had to get one thing right a day. You're juggling a lot. So I'll give you some grace. So what was I to say? I mean, I think it's going to be interesting. The pro forma of this deal, I think is going to be great. And then underlyingly, if you take kind of the specifically growing space company prior to the Iridium acquisition, it's going to be profitable here pretty soon. So I'm very curious to see how it transpires. I mean, Rocket Lab, if you look at it on a pro forma basis, is the cheapest it's ever been by a large margin. So it's interesting to see. I mean, they're going to be able to get 500 million in EBITDA right off the bat, and yeah, it's still trading, price to EBITDA of yes, now less than 100. But if you think about the fact that,
so let me ask you this: on a pro forma basis, what is the new expectations about EPS? Are the new expectations correct that it's going to be 3 cents next year, or is that still the prior numbers?
I think that might still be prior, but let me think. So it should be close to plus or minus 25 cents. No.
So the numbers right now are 23 cents in 2028.
That's pre-forma.
Pre-forma.
That's sorry, not pro. That's pre-acquisition.
Yeah, pre-acquisition. Okay.
So there's about 600 million shares or so. And so the EBITDA itself will be about 600 million combined in 27 fiscal year, plus or minus 100 million, depending on if Rocket Lab is contributing to that or they massively surpass. So 600 million shares, 600 million in EBITDA. The EBITDA per share would be about $1 plus or minus 25 cents.
Okay.
So how much of that then goes to net income? I would say it's going to be closer to 25 to 50 cents.
I'm asking Claude right now to model it. Can you look into Rocket? What's the name of the company they acquired?
Iridium, IRDM.
IRDM?
Yeah.
How do I actually spell it? Not the ticker. How do I actually spell the company?
IRIDIUM.
Okay.
Communications. EBITDA is bad. Sorry. That's from what movie is that?
I mean, Warren Buffett hates EBITDA. And I want to address something in the chat I think is very important. So you can buy 40 Rocket Labs for the same price as paying for SpaceX. I get that on a market cap basis. It's more, what is the percentage of growth that you can get on your investment? And just because a company is smaller, and look, I'm not saying one way or another, but it's all about percentage. It doesn't matter if a company is 40 billion or 400 billion. I mean, if a company doubles, it doubles. Doesn't matter what the market cap is. So you always got to think in percentages.
You want to know the price to EBITDA that we're buying this franchise at, Steve?
Yes. What is it?
2.75.
2.75 times EBITDA right now?
Yeah.
So what's the total EBITDA? Is Rocket Lab's a $40 billion company?
No. I meant like the franchise that I'm buying into, not.
I was still on Rocket Lab. That's pretty good, Matt. I like it. Pretty good.
We'll have to worry about money less. We'll still have to worry about money, but we don't have to worry about money, no mo. But
yeah,
sets us up. Twin Peaks. Yeah, I wish it was a Twin Peaks. People were like, Matt, are you gonna be an active manager in this business? I was like, no, I'm gonna be passive. If this was a Twin Peaks, I'd be there every night.
Then I'd have to call John Taffer and be like, hey, my buddy Matt invested in this freaking bar, and instead of running the bar, he's actually there hanging out at the bar. Can you go in and set him straight?
Kick him out. Yeah, kick him out.
Like, if you did that, I would have to call John Tafford. By the way, Bar Rescue is a great show.
Great show.
Great show. John Tafford's awesome. Great show.
And nice thing about I like wings. So
I like a good wing. I like a good, and I gotta tell you, I don't go to this spot anymore, but it came across my Instagram. Somebody found my spot. And they rated it, and they said it's the best wings they ever have. One of these food guys I follow.
Don't tell me that, please. All right. So
listen,
August, where we going?
Listen. There is a spot that I used to go to all the time. Okay.
Where you used to work, or
no. I mean, all the time. Like once a week, we would go there. Okay?
Pre-marriage.
Yeah. No,
different lifestyle of Steve's life.
I've been there with my wife. It's a regular bar.
Oh, I'm not saying you didn't, but
like it is the best kept secret. And it popped into my Instagram. I'm like, no way are they at Gallagher's. No way.
Is that what it was? It's Gallagher's?
Gallagher's in Seacliff. Nobody knows about this place. It is incredible. And the guy's like, he actually says in the video, I am sorry that I'm going to screw this up for all the locals.
I mean, well, now 3,000 to 4,000 people. So maybe like 5 or 10 of the people that are nearby would go.
Crazy. So Matt, there are less than 3 hours left in the trading day.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? You going to make any moves? You can buy anything? I actually have to log into the account and deploy some capital. Not a lot.
I got to make some money. I got to make some money moves. So I got to make some money moves. What I will say is I got to take some money out of my brokerage on 2 occasions. Well, just for right now, the private placement that we discussed earlier this week. So we can't talk about it until that's closed. So I got to move money for that. Surprisingly, my Roth is green. And even though Rocket Lab is running, I'm only up like 0.5%. I don't know what's dragging it down. Because Rocket Lab's up 4.5% for me. I don't know what's dragging it down, Steve.
You know what, Maddie? I couldn't tell you, buddy.
Let's see. Today's gains and losses. Oh, I think it's some long-term puts just being weird. Yeah, it's long-term puts being weird.
Does anybody have any good ideas for something in dividend land I can buy for my Seeking Alpha series?
What was that?
I need to buy something for the dividend harvesting portfolio.
GPIX.
Sounds like a plan.
That's what Maddie's been doing, GPIX.
Did you read my latest article about it?
No. Should I?
We don't.
You like it? Are you still a little spy eye?
Oh, let me show you. So how many of you guys are into we're gonna go GPIQ heading into earnings? Is what
I don't hate that. Hey, by the way, you had a great conversation. Was it with Chris or was it with Tanner the other night? And I agree wholly. I mean, we've been talking about this for a couple of weeks. I've been coming on intermittently. And I've always thought we'd be in this really kind of interesting lull period until we get back into earnings. I think we're kind of ending that lull period now because everyone at the end of May and June obviously was a complete shit show for a lot of people. I always kind of said when we were in June and people were starting to see the pullbacks and a lot of this stuff that we'd be in this limbo period until earnings. I think we're going to come out strong over the next week or two with earnings. and you're going to
Wait
see a
till you
lot.
hear basis points tonight.
Is this the part that is scary? Did you tell people about the scary part yet or no?
No, wait till you hear basis points tonight. Steve gets unhinged at one point.
God damn it, Steve. Okay, I got to plan out. What time is my
Steve gets
reservation?
unhinged at one point.
My reservation's at 7:30, so I'm trying to think if I can. It comes out at 5 my time, right?
Yeah.
So, or is it you already said 6 Eastern, right?
5 your time.
So 5 my time. Okay,
Yeah.
I can be at the gym and listen to it. Yeah, I got plenty of time.
You got
I'll be
plenty
at the
of time.
gym. I get to the gym at 5 on the dot. Listen to it. Hit the sauna. Come
Yeah.
home. Shower.
Yeah.
Get Anya out of the garage.
Whoa, you named it?
You always name a car, Steve. Gone in 60 seconds.
Oh my god. Well, this is true, Eleanor.
You don't have a name
Sure.
for your car?
No.
Do you know what my Tahoe is named?
No.
Steven. Am I about to argue with you in front of 1,000 people right now?
Yes.
What does the shadow government name her car?
No.
Put a poll. Poll right now.
Okay.
Are you serious?
Do you name your car? That's what the question is?
Yes. The Tahoe is named Steven.
All right, the poll's out. Please vote.
See, Melanie agrees. You need to name your car.
Please vote.
The Tahoe is named
more no's right now.
What?
More no's. No's are pulling away right now.
Is this window open?
58%, 59% no, 100 votes. Come on, we got over 1,000 people here. Let's get your vote in. And do me a favor. If you're enjoying the content, please like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot if you subscribe.
The fact that
149 votes and 60% no.
can't assume my car's gender. Jesus.
So I agree with this. I agree with what Diana said. It also needs to be a car worth naming. So I agree with that.
Is my Tahoe worth naming?
No.
Should I just drive it into a pole then? Like, what should I do?
No, but it's not worth naming.
What is worth naming?
Well, your other car is worth naming.
And it's Anya with a J.
You can only name your car if the key goes in the keyhole. Wireless clicker cars do not get named. That's a fact. No physical connection.
In that light, I would not be able to name either car.
All right, we're going to end the poll out. 62% no, Matt. Sorry. Anyway, I want to show you how good old GPIX and GPIQ are going.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
We're going to compare them to SPYI and QQQ. No. Yeah, we'll do QQQI, SPYI, and XYLG, because that's the one you liked, right? XYLG?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ban everybody that said no, ban.
Stop.
Who's a mod? Is Chell's here?
What? Why did
Michelle's prancing around Eastern Europe, walking around the mountains of Tribadahu.
I know she sent me pictures of her chicken parm lasagna. All right,
What?
so since she's in Italy,
Chicken parm and lasagna, or chicken parm lasagna?
two different photos.
Okay, I was about to say, I was just like chicken parm lasagna. I was like, hook a guy
So,
up.
QQQI is the most recent fund established. Okay, so we're going since their inception. So since their inception, GPIQ has done the best. XYLG has done the worst. And if we look at the total return, XYLG is 38%. GPIQ is 53%. Pretty wild.
It's pretty wild.
And if we look at the actual, I really love these Goldman Sachs ETFs. I really do.
Yeah, I think
very
GPIX.
even feel of appreciation and income.
So I don't know if I told you this. I've switched. I have a proprietary blend where I'm trying to outpace the S&P.
Okay.
So I have an S&P fund. So basically I have two funds going where I put $50 a week. I was going to start a Seeking Alpha, but I'm not as good about my time management as Steve, and Steve is a much harder worker than I am.
Listen, I told you should start writing again.
You did tell me that, and I appreciate your confidence. I appreciate your confidence in my authoring abilities. But $50 a week into just a VOO, and then $50 a week spread and a proprietary blend for a leveraged fund. I won't say which one. An S&P 500 is flat. And then, which I think is SPY. I don't remember if it's SPY or VOO. And then the third one being an income fund to try to help. My goal with that is to match the returns of an S&P 500 from a principal perspective, but outpace the dividend to see, because my always thought process is if I could get a couple million just in the SPY and chill and then just live off of those dividends, then I'd be golden, right? And then everything else is kind of just fun money at that point. But my thought process is if you're able to double the dividend, then, you're able to use more of that fun money elsewhere to try to, invest or take risk or whatever. I was using XYLG and I've switched to GPIX due to its performance.
Yeah, the Goldman ETFs are incredible. If you're looking for a blend of appreciation and income, they're my favorite. If you're looking for really maximized income, I think the NEOS investments, QQQI and SPYI, are just top notch. My own opinion.
That's why they pay the big bucks, Steve.
Listen, some would say that's why they pay you the big bucks, Matt.
Well, Steve, I'm actually in the green today.
Good. I'm happy you're in the green. I'm happy that let's look at where the market is. Let's look where we're going, and that's going to be time. So, space, again, a little movement. ASTS back over 60. Nibius 186. Micron trying to get back to 900. Zeta, let's get after it, ladies and gents. Let's get after it. 2238. Oil 8170. I do not like that. Rocket Lab 280. We're up. Oracle is still under 130. SoFi 1746. Turned out to be a good day. Qualcomm's up. Everything's turning. What are the losers? Netflix getting crushed. QXO is down because of oil. SpaceX getting clobbered. Matt, what happened with the launch with SpaceX? I didn't follow it.
I think the inner four engines were faulty, so I think they pushed it.
No bueno.
Space is hard, Steve.
I know. That's why I don't want to invest in it. Very hard. We got IBM, 213. We got Hood at 103. Meta, 652. Meta's coming back today, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that candle. It's a thing of beauty. Thing of beauty. Mr. Softy trying to get back to 400. Today's turned out to be a halfway decent day. Salesforce, let's end it out, Matt, with the stock combine. Let's end it out.
Yeah, at least in space, then we can hear the tears falling onto my desk.
Maddie is still in first place. Oh, 32%.
Steve, tell them what I asked you earlier.
What did you ask earlier?
About you were driving, so you might not remember. You probably just did a quick message at a stoplight, but I asked because it's a short position if I could trade somebody and they could do long.
No, that's not what you asked. Unless I read it wrong because I was driving.
You might have.
Did I read it wrong?
Me, congrats.
No, somebody would have to take your short. They can't take your short and flip it to long. They'd have to wait until the rebalance. I must have read it wrong, and if I did, then I apologize to the group chat.
It says, question, since I'm the only one that shorted something and have balls.
Right.
I said, and have balls.
Yeah.
That was an ad lib. But since I'm the only one that shorted something, am I able to trade my SpaceX if they want to go long? Or does it have to be traded for a short? Or because technically SpaceX long is still open, I could not trade it, just have to wait for the quarterly rebalance. And Steve says, driving, can trade for long.
Yeah, driving, you can trade for a long position.
So I could either rebalance and then go from short to long.
Right. Or you can trade your SpaceX for somebody else's long position. You do not have to trade for another short.
But they would have to take on my short.
Correct. That's why I said you can trade for a long position. So if you want something and I want it, I can't take SpaceX and flip it to long here. I would have to keep it as a short because that's what you currently have it as.
Got it.
Yeah.
So basically I'm waiting for September.
Or if you can
convince somebody to take on my short.
Listen, I got a trade for you.
Do you?
I got a trade for you. It's a little bit of a gray area, but I got
Is it going to be like the bullshit shit that you talked about with Ted?
I got a trade for you. All right, I got a trade.
I was laughing my ass off when I was listening to that. Oh, God.
I'll give you MP Materials. You're getting it at a discount, steep discount.
Okay.
But I want you to absorb the 25.5%, 5-6% down. Okay. With part of the SpaceX short. And you keep some of your upside that you've already gained. You keep like 8% of it, but you clear out my downside.
So I absorb a 25% loss.
You take a little, you're still in the green. You clear out my loss, right? I'm down 25%. Your SpaceX is up 32. So you're going to keep 7% of your upside. You'll still have 7% green, but in order to lock that in, I want my downside taken away on MP.
How about no, you crazy Dutch bastard? I'm trying to understand, like, why. Do you think anyone's going to take these deals, or are you just chatting?
Listen.
You think we're going to be smitten by your good looks?
Listen, I'm not expecting anybody to take the deal. It's got to work for me, nobody else.
Yeah, you take your shirt off. Maybe we talk.
Listen, I'm just saying it's got to work for me, nobody else.
I want to see that red shirt on the ground. Reminds me too much of Ohio State.
Does Steve think he's better than you? Oh my God.
Yeah, you got to take a drink of me to buy me. You got to buy me dinner first before you try to take advantage of me. You got to take me to a speakeasy at least.
Man,
the ones where you put in a code to get in there.
Can we just say something?
Yes, Steve, I am a baller.
This does not match Chris's investing at all.
How much is he down? And what the hell is Vive?
Vive is Viva Systems. Like, I'm still shocked he went this heavy into AI.
I think he saw me print money last year in the first half of the year and then lose towards the tail end.
And Jason's trying to convince me that I logged everything of his in his shorts.
GLW. How much is Caterpillar down? I heard them chatting about Caterpillar on CNBC. Is that down a good bit?
Gary, thank you very much. Go Buckeyes.
They win. They win.
I don't know what Cat's doing. I don't really follow Cat. And then there was Captain Sleepy Time.
SMCI's down 18. I thought when we bought it,
He was
already
up
pretty
a
cheap.
lot on that.
I thought it was pretty cheap. SMCI.
How's a bits portfolio doing? Jesus.
Oh, SMCI is down to 25 bones. It might be like when we were buying into it. Remember when we made that trade? Were you in on that? You were in on that too, right? I know me,
Yeah.
Chris, Amit, and then I made like 10 grand on that.
All I know is Amit took NVIDIA and I took Broadcom in the first slide. Neither of them are doing well.
Yeah, but after earnings,
Oh, I'm so ready for earnings. Oh my God.
NVIDIA is gonna.
I'm so fucking ready for earnings. Earnings season, baby.
Okay, so Cat did pull back a little bit. Meow. I don't know, Steve. No. I'm gonna say no. Tier MP.
Hold on a sec.
Oh, he's better than me.
Did somebody just change my meeting? Give me a sec.
Are you late?
No, my meeting was supposed to be at 2:30. And they just changed this?
To 1:30? Are you allowed to divulge whom with? With whom you were meeting?
No. Okay. No, it says. All right. Well, Maddie, it's lunchtime. What are you gonna have?
So what happened? Are you missing your meeting right now, or?
I'm logging in to see if I'm like missing a meeting right now. That was supposed to be. It's supposed to be at 2:30, and I just got a notification now. It's 1:30. It's like.
All right. Well, then call it. We got to call it. Steve's in
No,
trouble,
there's nobody
guys.
there. I just logged in. There's nobody there.
Yeah, because they left. They're waiting for the professor, and the professor didn't show up.
They have my cell phone number. They could have texted me.
Well, I wish you would text me, Steve.
So
instead, you call me when I'm sleeping. Don't change a thing about you, Steve. Keep being you. That's why. That's why I love you. That's why I come. Lunch is for wimps, dude.
Lunch is for wimps. What movie? What movie, ladies and gentlemen? What movie? Lunch is for wimps. Let's end it on movie trivia. Give you a hint. Give you a hint. Michael Douglas says it.
What is it?
Lunch is for wimps.
Is that Wall Street?
There you go. There you go.
He says that in there?
Are you kidding me? You're trolling right now.
What part of the movie?
Don't do that.
What part of the movie?
What do you mean what part of the movie? When Bud Fox finally gets his interview with Gordon Gekko, brings him a box of Cubans for his birthday? Don't do that.
I was gonna make a Cuban joke, but I know you literally have a box just sitting there waiting to get, or at least one or two of them to me. So I was gonna be like, I wish Steve would give me Cubans, but that'd be like the most dickheadish thing I could say because you are.
Well, I mean, I did give you and Dougie Cubans.
You did, and they're fucking. Yeah, I don't know. Crazy.
So
I got a bunch of cigars. I've been smoking them over time.
Listen,
I haven't smoked a cigar in a week or two. I need to go. Maybe tonight.
This weekend, baby.
I wonder if the speakeasy. No, it's inside.
Can you at least do me a favor?
What's that, Steve?
Can you start smoking good cigars?
What, you don't like?
You sent me pictures of all this obscure stuff. Enough. I'm throwing the gauntlet down.
$40 or bust.
There's certain brands you smoke. Okay. Certain brands. We don't go into the off stuff. Can you please stick to these profiles? Okay.
Okay.
All right. Perdomo. I never see you smoking a Perdomo. Toro Fuente. I don't really see you smoking a lot of those.
I have some of those aging back there. You know.
They're awesome. Ashton. The Cabinet Reserves are to die for.
If I smoke an Ashton, it's a VSG though. It needs to be darker.
The sun-grown VSG is amazing. I'm with you.
The cabinets are generally too light for me, Steve.
Well, they're silky smooth, Matt.
Silky smooth.
Silky smooth. The Perdomos.
Maybe I'll look to see what are the Ashtons. They do carry a lot of Ashtons at my cigar shop.
Oh, Celery Trades. I was thinking about you the other day, actually yesterday. Thank you very much. Me and my brothers officially have a Benjamin's and Amish Market Day planned in New York City, and All About the Parms is now part of our vocab. I love that. There's another place that if you're, depending on where you are in Midtown, the Smith is awesome.
Shout out the Amish.
Amish is amazing, but this place is so good. Midtown, this one. Here we go. The Smith.
Smitty.
Smith. It's fire. It's legit fire. It's legit fire.
You're fire.
It's really good.
All right. What other cigars, Steve?
It's really good.
What Porsche? I don't have a Porsche anymore. I got repoed yesterday.
Because Rocket Lab went down and got repoed.
Because I went from multi-millions in profits in Rocket Lab down to single millions. Might have still been about 2 million. I don't know.
And Celery Trades. For pizza, you got to go to John's on Bleecker. It is not even a question. If you're coming to New York, you got to take a trip down there and then report back to everybody if I am bullshitting or not with how damn good their pizza is. It's the best in the city.
I don't know who ANYA is. ANJA is a very special place in my heart.
I hope so.
What other cigar brand, Steve?
Look, I'm a big believer that Romeo y Julieta gets a very bad rap because people look at it as a rookie cigar because it's a very well-known brand. It's a well-known brand for a reason because they make really good cigars, like really good cigars. Their vintage is amazing. So I wouldn't mind seeing you rock those. Perdomo is excellent, but really, a Toro Fuente makes, in my opinion, the best landscape of cigars. They're amazing.
No Cohibas.
Well, that you don't buy. I'm talking about American. You don't buy American Cohibas. You just don't. Same way you don't buy American Monte Cristos.
I have one or two of those in the back.
They're not bad, but it's always missing something.
I had a Monte Cristo number 2 straight from the UK recently. Not recently, in 2019, when Tiger was finishing up Sunday and the Masters and clinching that in 2019. I was out at a bar. It was like a month or two before I moved to Trinidad, and I was just like needed to get the hell out of the house. Yeah, somebody gave me that as a gift and smoked that bad boy, and that was game changer. Delicious.
Yeah, I mean, if you like the sun-grown stuff, Matt, you'll like this.
I like medium to full.
So, a Toro Fuente does a sun-grown. It's very good.
I don't know if I've seen that.
Very good.
Rosado, sun-grown.
But the Opus is where it's at.
Dude, Steve, I've showed you the picture, right?
I mean, this is insane how much they charge for societies.
I've showed you that is insane. I've showed you the photo of my cigar shop's Opus collection, right?
You have.
I don't know how, like, did he just buy 1 billion boxes and is just flushing through them? I don't know.
People buy these to give as like legit gifts.
I don't know if he has the Rosados. I'll have to double check.
I mean, I think I gave you and Dougie some of these Opus X Forbiddens, didn't I?
Yeah.
You know how much
if
these are?
If I had pants on, I would pull the humidor behind me. I have all the Opus X's behind me.
The Opus X's, they're the best cigars you can get. They're non-Cuban. Period.
They're really good.
They're amazing. Anyway. All right, everybody. We're going to get out of here. It's lunchtime. Hopefully, everybody has a great weekend. We got some stuff. Basis Points, 6 p.m. We have Nick and myself discussing Zeta Global, the Palantir OpenAI and Snowflake connection, and where we think business intelligence is going, dropping at 2:30 today. Jose and I will be shooting tonight. That will come out tomorrow. I will be at Fanatics Fest over the weekend. Maybe we do an impromptu live stream from Fanatics Fest. We will see. And we'll go from there.
Why does my right eye look puffy, Steve?
I don't know. Why does it look puffy?
I don't know.
Thank you,
Maybe,
everybody. Really appreciate it. Have a great weekend. If I don't speak with you, I will probably stream tomorrow night. Maybe Matt will join us. We'll see.
Tomorrow night? What, tomorrow night, Saturday?
Saturday.
I'll let you know right now.
All right.
Oh, no.
Okay. Anyway, thank you, everybody. Really appreciate it. See everyone this weekend at some point. Have a great weekend.
I love you all. Thanks for having me on.